Hi, John Marshall, the DrillMaster. This is the Army retirement ceremony held at Fort Myer, which is now Myer Henderson Hall, Joint Base. Interestingly, Henderson Hall's little tiny Marine base there in Virginia. Really interesting history all around that. Anyway, and for Fort Myer as well. So this isn't a critique. It's more of a hey, go watch this type of video. I'm not going to make this very long. This is an hour-long ceremony, but we'll skip through. I just want to get some highlights here. So let's go ahead.
Good afternoon and welcome to historic Joint Base Myer, Henderson Hall. Originally established as Fort Whipple in 1863 and changed to Joint Base Myer, Henderson Hall in 2009.
Oh,
Its main purpose was
alrighty.
fortification of
Fort
the U.S.
Whipple.
coast
Isn't
line.
that interesting?
Since its inception, Joint
Well,
Base Myer,
I
Henderson
think so.
Hall has been home of horse cavalry, artillery, and infantry. Today, it is home to the Old Guard, the United States Army Band, and the United States Army Garrison. Before today's review begins, the United States Army Band, Pershing Zone, presents a free ceremonial concert featuring the following musical selections: This Is My Country and The Liberty Bell. Ladies and gentlemen, the United States Army Band.
So, in case you didn't know, military bands have a drum major who's enlisted, and then they have a director who's an officer. And so the drum major and the officer switch positions when necessary. When field conducting, that's what the drum major does for and all the marching sequences. The drum major leads, but then for concert type there. Um, let's see here. Let's and they have rope drums. It's just really cool. I was a percussionist in high school and college, and that's just kind of neat for me to see. Oh, so we'll skip to them playing the troops on. So, since this has more to do with marching than the drum major conducts, not necessarily the concert type, although it's not really a concert setting, that's not exactly my point, but the uh, the setting was without marching, so. And then there's the Fife and Drum Corps there at there you go, you can see it there. Really, it's such a fantastic fantastic opportunity to watch all of these ceremonial units of the old guard. They march off to the very end, the to the right of the formation. Isn't it interesting, though? You can see right here. I find it fascinating that this is how we used to stand at attention, with the feet separated. This is how we carried the flag, other equipment, the espontoon with the halberd type of blade on the top there. That manual of arms was created in the 60s, 70s, something like that. But it was based off of as much historical documentation the old guard could find.
United States Army Military District of Washington, represented by the soldiers of the 3rd United States Infantry Regiment, the Old Guard, and United States Army Band, Pershing Zone, pay a special tribute to several soldiers who are retiring after many years of distinguished service to the United States Army and our nation. Participating in today's review, from left to right, is the United States Army Band, Pershing Zone, formed in 1922 by then
So
Army Chief of Staff
maybe we can catch it. Um, oh, way too much.
Infantry Regiment, Drum Major Daniel Orr, capital, and throughout the United States.
Here
Participating
comes
in today's
colors.
review, from left to right, is the United States Army Band,
So
Soldiers who
what
retired
I'm trying to catch is, so off in the corner here, you can just barely see the what. Now I'm forgetting what they're called. Anyway, the the older the costume, the uniform, Washington's bodyguard. Anyway, so which is where all of our honor guards come from, but then they go back to at least Roman times, if not earlier, with Praetorian Guard. Anyway, so what Baron von Steuben did for facing movements is he developed. It's really odd, but we used to pivot on both heels to execute facing movements at first. Um, so I'm just wondering if we can catch that.
retiring after many years of distinguished service to the United States Army and our nation. Participating in today's review, from left to right, is the
It
United
didn't look
States
like it.
Army
It looked
Band,
like
Pershing Zone, formed in
a,
1922
a
by then
pivot on the right
General John J. Pershing,
right platform, and then
recognizing our senior service. Pershing Zone
the
provides
left.
musical support for ceremonies and special events in our nation's capital and throughout the United States. The United States
There
Army
goes
Band is
colors
under the direction of Command Sergeant Major Julian Ayres and
in
led by
column of
Sergeant
twos.
First Class
So you saw the guards leading, and
Elliot
then
L. Robinson Honor Guard Company,
the three
led
flags.
by
So
Sergeant First Class Alfonso Bowman and led by Sergeant First Class
you'll see them in
Alfonso
just a
Bowman.
second here, coming in, and I'll turn this up.
Bravo Company, commanded by First Sergeant Cody Mar Thaler and led by Sergeant First Class Stephen Matthews. Next on line is Charlie Company, commanded by Sergeant First Class David Lipset and led by Staff Sergeant Joshua Matthews.
Wow, that was a poor ready front,
Charlie is
guys.
the Commander-in-Chief's Guard, patterned after the unit created by General George Washington
Commander in
in
Chief's Guard.
1876,
Holy
the Chief's
cow!
Guard. The Commander-in-Chief's Guard is commanded by Sergeant First Class Joshua Jenkins and led by Staff Sergeant Tyler McKay. The last element on line, dressed in a Continental musician's uniform, is the United States Army Old Guard Fife and Drum Corps. During the American Revolution, musicians wore the reverse colors of their parent infantry unit. The men and women of the United States Army Old Guard Fife and Drum Corps maintain this tradition by wearing red coats instead of the infantry blue. The Corps today is led by Drum Major John Parks.
Just fascinating that we have so much incredible history. So the officers take over. So the espontoon was carried as a symbol of position. Um, I, I'm
Ladies and
gonna
gentlemen,
say
moving to the left is the Command
officer
Sergeant Major
positions.
Ceremony. Command Sergeant Major Nicholas P. Rodman,
That's
commanding
all I
the
know
1st
about it,
Battalion, 3rd
honestly.
United States Infantry Regiment, the Old Guard. Since the days of the American Revolution, the colors have been one of the most important elements of a military unit.
Here comes colors. This is the Continental Color Guard. Now the Continental Color Guard platoon isn't all dressed in the antique style uniform. There are a few in this uniform, and then others in the Army's ceremonial uniform. But isn't it's a very interesting way to mark time. Again, I find that fascinating that the in order for the and this as well, I'm I just I find it all absolutely amazing that this is the look at the stance, how we go to present arms based on a couple hundred years ago. The right foot back with the Commonwealth drill still performing that type of salute, only with a little the raised right knee and then the stomp behind, but it's still similar. And then in order for them to execute present, they have to go to shoulder firelock, and then the counting there too, which I find interesting. Um, I've been concentrating. I have a little bit of research knowledge, historical knowledge as far as this is concerned, but I really want to expand my knowledge there. So I have several books to read, but just it's all quite fascinating to me, and I really love the tradition there. And we'll skip the Star Spangled. So okay, never mind. So such a violent step from the hips down, but then they're not supposed to show any kind of movement, or as little as possible from then the waist up. And so the knees come out, and I got uh, a demonstration when I visited the Continental Color Guard. Boy, just a few months ago, actually. And thanks, Sergeant Boyd. And also, I wish you the best in your civilian life now in North Carolina. So I'll continue with that in just a sec. So dress center is used to get the team dressed towards the center. And you see that their heads drop. That's because, so let me go back to here. So we're at 2107. I want to go back to right here. There. See the dots right there? That's what they're dressing to. There are marks on the floor. There are marks everywhere, actually, for there's little corners for each of the platoons. They know to be within those corners, and then they dress within that area. But for individual positions, like the parade staff here, the three, you can see a little darker dot there, but these three dots, that's the parade staff. Colors, I'm sure, has something that ensures that they are centered behind the parade staff. So let's go back to 2107. There we go. So they'll give dress center dress and then ready front, and then everybody is hitting their marks and ensuring that they're squared away. All alignment taken care of. So anyway, what I was getting at earlier is the knees have to come out because the I wonder if there's a close up of this. So the uniform there. There. Oh, this is perfect. Okay, so the uniform has this little V right here. The tunic on the top has that little V, and in that V is this. Now, mine's black. Theirs a little different, but still, you've got the socket frame and then the socket. So this is right there at that V, and you can see that it's just happens to be at crotch level, and so the legs have to come out because the hips are right there, and if they didn't have their knees come out like this, then the flagstaff would be pushed over back and forth, and that would look just awful. So they have a little bit of a, I don't know if you could call it goofy. I don't think it's all that strange. I can appreciate it. I understand it. And I actually talked with a couple of the NCOs there, and just really good conversation. And my conversations are weird. Honestly, I have to tell you, it's all about either regulation, ceremonial drill, or even exhibition drill. And so you can see here, the color guard rolls their flags. They roll them a lot quicker than you would find in the parade for Marine Barracks Washington. The color bearers there take their time, really do. But then again, this has to be a lot quicker because of the sergeant major here, or the commander of the parade coming out, and they have to move on and get things done. Whereas the colors for Marine Barracks Washington during their parades, they have plenty of time to roll their colors, make sure that they look as awesome as possible. But there's nothing wrong here. They're doing just fine. So you can see here when the commander gives shoulder fire lock.
In 1922, the War Department granted permission for the Old Guard to pass and review the bayonets fixed. The Old Guard will now fix bayonets to the traditional beat of the drum.
It's interesting that we all fix bayonets the same way. It's just there might be a slight difference here and there. Obviously, it's going to be a bit different for those with the fire lock and those with an and then the what looks like M1 Garands here. Anyway, there's going to be a difference there, but then the sound off is given, and then the Fife and Drum Corps pass, And you can see that, oh no, that's the S pontoon. I apologize. The other is the halberd. That's the S pontoon. You can see that, oh, my apologies. So you can see that, you can, here we go. There. It kind of looks like the Canadian maple leaf, only with a much longer center to it. So that's the S pontoon. I apologize. The other, there, the commander for the commander in chief's guard has. Oh, there it is, right there. That's the halberd. So it's the halberd finial. I'll just call it like that. Which actually the Navy uses a halberd, a couple other finials as well. So now I got to do some more research and find out more information about that. But still, it's a symbol of the position. So, did you notice the inside flank there on the right as the members of here we go, as the members of the Fife and Drum Corps. So you'll see them flank on the inside foot. The inside foot here then is the right foot. So watch the flanks here. So you notice that some actually did execute a pivot and some didn't. Absolutely, just such a majestic sound, but also the presence is quite phenomenal. So there is an Army retirement ceremony. Uh, I'm all the time, once a month. I'm pretty sure, and so we've got. So the colors are brought forward, and then there. Colors are brought forward so that the those who are retiring come up and get their pictures. But I'll show you here. There. I'm fairly certain there's a cutoff for ranks. I don't know if it's only associated with the military district of Washington, but there are many of those who retire constantly, and so you can see them coming through. Then the colors return. I've been asked about rotations like that going to the right. That was going to the left. You can tell, obviously, but rotation that a wheel movement that goes to the right, that has the American flag going backwards. And actually, there's concern about that, and I get it. I really do.
Ladies and gentlemen, Major General Reagan.
So anyway, but it's not forbidden. It's just not usual. Rotation to the right, a wheel to the right. So then we get to everybody goes to stand at ease, and then there is a speech given, and then So now it's a pass and review for all of the retirees. And I played all this music in at New Mexico Military Institute. Every one of these marches is familiar to me. And you can see pretty exaggerated guidon salute there. So with regulation drill, you can watch here. It's with regulation drill, it's very straightforward. With ceremonial drill, there's a little bit. There you go. Here's another. You can see. It's a little more flamboyant. It's more for a show. And that's not to say. See, people get upset with me when I talk about performances. We're performing. No, this is our duty. This is. I get it. I understand that. Please don't take it in a bad way. We do perform. This is a performance, and I know somebody's going to get really ticked off, but I'm going to say it anyway. At the guards at the tomb, that's a performance. Even if nobody's around, it's still a performance. Get upset with me. Do whatever. I can't control that, but it's still a performance. You're just not used to having it classified like that. I'm not talking about being up on the Broadway stage or anything like that. It has nothing to do with that. It's still a performance. They do such an amazing job with that hang step. Really is quite amazing. And then the drummers, in order to play a rope drum, you have to be an exceptional rudimentary player. Uh, Rudimentary drum majors are, or not drum majors, but rudimentary drummers are not few and far between. But it's just a different technique, different style that that really pays off. It pays off for all kinds of drumming that you do. Anyway, so that's it. Oh boy, it's a half hour. I apologize, but there was a bit to talk about, and I hope you enjoyed it. So I'll leave the link below, and go watch it. It's just a great performance. And then go watch a parade that's been recorded from Marine Barracks, Washington. So thanks. I appreciate it.